I just want to say I'm glad you opened with the song because I lost my voice 62 years ago when I was born. And have not been able to sing since.
No, that's the cool thing, though, the rasp that you have in your voice. That's cool.
Is it cool? I tell you what, I can do Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Yeah.
But that's because it's more like a dirge than a song.
I know, but sometimes it's cool when your voice is, like, worn out like that. Whenever I'm tired, that's when I can go, like, Toni Braxton, you know? Get that sexy low, or the Janis Joplin stuff.
Well, I never trained.
Okay.
And I'm doing this part.
No time like the present. Yeah.
I have to start because my character does a lot of emotive yelling.
Yeah.
And
you lose it.
It gets scary. It gets a little rough.
Yeah.
Sometimes I come off stage and people are like, "You want to check on your voice? You want to rest it or something?"
Yeah.
And
that's a real thing. And if you're tired, or allergies here are crazy.
Yeah.
So that I call the allergies here Ursula, just snatches your voice. It's not fun. But how long did you work in this building at SNL?
I worked here for 4 years, from 1987 to 1991. I was with the cast that included Dana Carvey and Phil Hartman, but also with Adam Sandler and Chris Farley and Chris Rock.
Great cast.
So I went through those two casts, and I had such a good time with those guys, but also it's hard to write that show.
Yeah. No,
when I come in here and I walk these hallways, I just remember myself 26 years old. I don't have any comedy ideas left.
Yeah.
And you're just exhausted after you do, you know, by Christmas you've done like 11 shows and you have nothing in your brain.
Tank is empty.
Yeah.
And you work so hard, though. I've talked to so many people that have worked on this show, and it sucks, too, because I've been on it a couple times as a musical guest, so I see the whole day.
Yes.
And so all the things don't make it, like all the little...
all the sketches
don't make it. Like,
well,
did you ever
reasons.
have one
many.
You loved?
Yes, well, there was one in particular I really loved. I wrote it for John Lovitz, if you know him, very funny guy. And it's about a hot dog vendor in New York, and he's training he's got a trainee. And he says, "Okay, you take the next guy." The guy walks up and he says, "A hot dog with mustard," and he gives him a hot dog, puts mustard on, hands it to him. "Thank you." And as soon as the guy walks away, Lovitz does, "What the hell do you think you're doing? That's not how it's done."
And just like berating him.
He's insisting that it's harder than it is. Because he can't admit that you can learn it in 2 seconds. So it's a sketch. It's kind of Abbott and Costello. It was a great old-timey sketch. I love those old-time sketches. Yeah. And John loved it, and I loved it, and it killed it read-through.
That's what I'm saying. I've been there when they kill and read-through, and then I'm like, where did it go?
And 30 years later, he still reminds me of it every time I see him. He wants to do it. So maybe someday, who knows? You know, they still own it, right? It's sitting there.
I know. Pull it out.
File folder.
So you have 2 kids now, right? And they're in their
I have 2 kids. They're older now. They're grown. I mean, my daughter is 24. My son's 26. My daughter's here.
Yeah, I know. Hi.
Because I wanted to talk about one of the things I wanted to share with you was this book that we put out last year that I'm still so proud of. I mean, it's doing really well, and
It started whenever she was young.
So when they were little, we read a lot to them. We would read 4 or 5 books a night, and after a while, I was like, well, you know, kids sort of they see the world as what they're shown when they're young. And so I took out a notebook and I made a fake cover for it. And I called it Old Time Rhymes. Yeah. And then every night we would write a poem in it. After we'd read our books, we'd write one poem. And I would let the kids, you know, invent a line or a poem idea. Yeah. And I would write down exactly what they said. I wouldn't fix it or change it. And we'd write a little poem and I'd put it on the shelf next to all the, you know, Shel Silverstein and Dr. Seuss and all that good stuff. And so their book was right there with the prose, right? And it had a front cover and it had their names on it. They wrote a book.
That's powerful, by the way.
Yeah, and we do that pretty much 2 or 3 times a week. And over the course of 6 years, we had 100 little poems. And then that sat on another shelf because they grew up and went to college, and Aaron became an illustrator, went to Pratt here in New York. Yeah. And I said, let's pull that old book out and rewrite those, make them better, and you do drawings for them. And yeah, so we
what a cool
put
thing
out a book.
to do, like as a father and daughter.
Well, I just wanted the kids to see that they could be. How do those books get written? I wrote a book. You know, it's on the shelf with the others. And can I share a poem with you?
Yes, you can. I want.
It's called Zilot, which is a word my son one day came in and said, "Let's build a zillet." And I said, "What's a zillet?" And he goes, "You know, like a blanket over a chair and a couch." And I said, "You mean an indoor fort?"
Like a fort.
Yeah. And he goes, "Well, it's a zillet." And I go, "Okay, well, we'll call it a zillet then from now on."
Yeah.
And so that became, it's about inventing words and inventing things and not being afraid to do that. And so let me read one for you. Here, it's one of the originals. It's exactly as we wrote it when the kids were little.
I love it.
It's called My Car. My car runs on turkey bologna, carrot and broccoli stew. When I drive it to Arizona, I can hear the engine chew.
That's so creative. Like, even a kid would hear an engine chewing.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like it's eating. Like, that's well done on the illustrations as well. All right, we need some commercials. Y'all, let's hand it over to someone in the audience.
Hi, Kelly and Bob. As a real estate agent, I can't wait to see you in Glengarry Glen Ross. Here in New York, you meet some sketchy, sneaky people. I once had this client who kept coming to my showings, always saying he was bringing his wife. Somehow, his wife was always a different woman. Oh. Don't go away. Kelly has more with Bob after this.
We are back with Bob Odenkirk, everybody. He's on Broadway now in Glengarry Glen Ross. He's playing at the Palace Theater here in New York City. So for those who don't know, explain the play and who you play.
Glengarry Glen Ross is a very famous American play. It won the Pulitzer, and it was written by David Mamet, great American playwright. And it's set in Chicago in 1983 in a real estate office where these guys are competing as they sell really bad real estate. Like, they're ripping people off.
Okay.
Right? They're awful guys.
A lot of humor to be had there. Okay.
It is. Yeah. And this is, by the way, the version that I'm currently doing that you see the photo of with Kieran Culkin and Bill Burr, Michael McKean, and excellent Howard Overshown and Donald Weber Jr. is the funniest version you'll ever see of this play, because this play has a grim side to it. There's a lot of swear words in it.
Yeah.
More than I use. Like,
probably not more than I use.
Yeah. But I'll tell you something. If you ever forget your line, just swear, and you'll probably be dead on. But it's got a lot of angry guys, frustrated guys, and they're yelling and they're competing with each other, right? And they want to put each other down. And yet somehow it's super funny with this group. And I think it's because Bill Burr, the great stand-up comic, you may know him. He's doing very well right now as a stand-up. And once he comes on with Michael McKean, you just know you can laugh. And then you start looking for what's funny in it. And Kieran, of course, is very spirited as Ricky Roma. And I occasionally go off the rails and act really stupid. Yeah. Don't tell David Mamet. Yeah. And we're just having a great time.
Or do
we're doing the play. We're doing it as written.
No. I don't mean that. I like coloring outside the lines. That's fine.
I change one line.
No, but I just mean, like, do y'all improv at all?
No.
Not at all. I was going to say, do you try and, like, because sometimes my band will somebody will play, like, a different beat in their head from the song, and they'll try and get them off during the show.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, I do that.
Okay.
So there is a part in the play where one of the salesmen is asked by another salesman to pretend to be a client.
Yeah.
Pretend to be a client, because there's a guy coming in the door, and we're going to pretend that I'm trustworthy and you believe me and you think I'm great. And when I'm doing that, I think I have license because my character's been told to pretend. So my character is acting stupid. Not me.
Not me.
And I have a lot of fun with that. And I try to make my scene partners laugh. Yes, I do. And I succeeded the other night. I made one guy, and he has to stand there, and what he does when he's going to laugh is he's supposed to be watching us because he wants to talk to this guy. And when he's going to laugh, he just turns around like this and faces the wall.
Yeah.
And then turns back.
Because you can't, I can't hide it. My entire body starts shaking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like that kind of, I full body laugh.
Do you guys enjoy it when a band member tries to keep you awake?
No, they don't do it to me. That would be very dangerous.
You don't like it?
No, they do it to each other, and I'm like, oh, man. Or actually, it's Chris Dye that usually does it to y'all. Yeah, people, yeah. No, y'all do it to each other.
But it's good, right? Because it keeps everybody awake.
Not to me. I'm ADHD. I'm already messing up lines because I'm reading signs. It's like,
really?
Yeah, I am very easily distracted. Shut your face. Oh my God, they do not mess with me because I am not a person that can pull it back. I can't. Yeah. I can't. I'm a child.
We're all making each other laugh, and we're having the greatest time. It's an amazing thing to be on Broadway.
I love that.
This play is a tank. You can't knock it over. It's got its laughs built in. It's got its feelings built in.
Yeah.
And we're just having the greatest time, and we're rocking it. So come see this thing.
Yeah. And who doesn't want to laugh and feel good? Like, need that escapism.
By the way, you can feel for the guys, or you can laugh at them.
Yeah.
Feel free.
I'm down for either.
Enjoy.
Wait, how do you make the character your own and not Jack Lemmon from the movie?
Yeah, well, so it was made as a film, a wonderful film, actually kind of a perfect film. And Jack Lemmon won the Oscar for it. And for he plays the part that I am playing in the play. I mean, you can't do it better than Jack did it. But the bottom line is I'm not Jack, and I have a different energy. And so, first of all, I don't watch the movie, which I have watched a lot in my life. I haven't forgotten what it is. But I certainly would never watch it during this run, because I don't want any of
imprinting of any sort.
But I think I also was Saul Goodman on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, and there's some DNA connecting Saul Goodman to Shelley Levine, this character, and Glengarry Glen Ross. And Saul was kind of, first of all, I was playing a guy much younger than myself in Saul Goodman. I'm 62. He was 10 to 15 years younger than me at all times. So I guess I'm bringing a little bit of Saul to the role of Shelley, and he's a spirited guy. I mean, Saul was excited about what he was selling you, which was oftentimes not good. But he was having a great time trying to trick you.
Oh my God.
And so I bring that energy to Shelley Levine.
What you've just said is why I don't date. Like, this is like, oh my God, this is terrifying. So wait, you weren't a salesman in Chicago, but you worked at a place where servers were rude once, I heard, when you were younger. And I've gone to these restaurants before.
Yeah. Ed DeBevick's was the name, and many people have been there, I'm sure. I don't know if it's still there.
It's hard. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to do it.
I was a waiter because I was writing comedy.
We've all been waiters
acting.
and waitresses in this industry, yes.
In fact, the first joke I ever wrote for Saturday Night Live, I was serving food when Dennis Miller read the joke that I wrote. I remember looking up and seeing him read my joke that I wrote. It was a big deal to me.
Yeah.
And but in the restaurant, there was a funny little vibe where the waitresses, mostly female, but some guys, would be rude to the customers. They'd walk by them and say, "Sit down. I'll get to you when I feel like it." And everyone would laugh.
Yeah.
So when I became a waiter there, I thought, well, let's go. And what I learned was that I belong in drama, not comedy. Even though I wrote comedy for so long and did very well doing it.
Did they take you seriously?
They took me seriously. And people's feelings were hurt. And I would walk by them and go, "Sit your ass down." And they'd be like, "Huh? He yelled at me." And honestly, seriously, I can't do that.
Oh my God, it makes me uncomfortable thinking about it. I love it for you, though. Everybody give it up for Bob Odenkirk. Glengarry Glen Ross is playing now at the College Theater in New York. Go on, rent the tickets.